It's spinning. So I'm going live. Right, here we go. All right, fellas. Man, it's a Sunday. We're going to get this thing cranked up for the Sunday rundown with the In the Pocket crew. Y'all ready to roll, fellas?
Let's get it.
Yes, indeed.
Get it. I'm hyped.
All right, this what's up, man. So look, we got a full slate today. Not only in games, but in the committee and the In the Pocket crew is all in the building. We got my man Terrence on lead, Mike, and then we got my man Sleeper King Jose on the percussions, and then my man Gene coming through, fresh off Vegas. I'm sure we got some insight.
Hey, don't forget my tambourine too.
Right, yeah, more cowbell.
Right. Oh yeah, you need the cowbell in there.
Yeah, man. So man, that's what's up, man. So man, fellas, good to have y'all in here, man, and get an opportunity to have a full slate today, a full team, full crew, and man, let's just jump right into it. What y'all think about the Thursday night game? Look, we know we only three. We're not a full-fledged homers podcast, but so we hopefully get some unbiased insight from the resident Cowboy fan from Thursday night. But what y'all think, man?
Yeah, let's let him go first. Let's let him go first.
Go ahead, Gene.
What you think, Gene?
In the words of what's my coach name, man? They are who we thought they were, man. Man, I definitely I think that you never want to see nobody get hurt. But I think that the Fitzpatrick injury was a blessing in disguise. They're exactly what I thought they were. I think they're a decent team. I don't think they're great. I think if a couple breaks go their way, they could be good. The game was definitely exciting, man. But Taylor Heineke, I think, is the right move for them. I don't know if he's going to be great or anything like that, but I just think that he gives them the best chance to win. And the defense, again, I know we argued about this on that podcast, but I've never seen anything besides the fact that they were first-round draft picks to prove that they were a great defense. I just think they're just an average defense, which isn't bad. I don't think they're terrible. I think they're average defense, and I think they have average weapons on offense. And we assume because they didn't have horrendous quarterback play that the weapons would be great. Now, albeit we know that Curtis Samuel's in there, but I just think they're just a good team. They're an average team that beat a bad team. That's how I feel, and that's how I've always felt, and nothing that I've seen has changed that so far.
All right, so
it was definitely a good game.
So look, it was definitely an exciting game, and we got the rundown, the Skins rundown from a Cowboys fan, and it's always a kind of like an offhand. Big up. If everything go their way, or losing your starting quarterback was the best thing ever happened to you. But let's look at it from a fantasy perspective, though. So, for the Skins, I'm sorry, for the Washington football team, my bad. That DC still in me. It's gonna be hard to get that out. But Taylor Heineke, he finished the game with 328 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Right, and he actually had 4 attempts with 6 yards rushing, and so 20.72 fantasy points. Terry McLaurin led the receiving corps with 22.2 points. He had 15 targets. He was a target monster that night. Good grace. 11 receptions, 107 yards, 1 TD. J.D. McKissick had led the way with 6 targets, 5 receptions, 83 yards, and also had the one he actually vultured the one rushing TD when they were in close. I guess that was kind of to keep the Giants off off balance a bit, and that was a surprise goal line handoff he got. So what do you guys think? Any bright spots there? And any surprises with the Washington football team at all? Even Damani Brown had 3 receptions, 34 yards on 6 targets.
Yes.
Real quick, I would like to talk about how McLaurin's targets increased exponentially when Heineke came in the game. Like the first week in a quarter, or the first quarter, 2 quarters in the first game, he had almost like no targets, and then as soon as Heineke came in, it was like they just shot up. So I think from a fantasy point, Clarence has benefited the most from having him come into the game.
What's your thoughts, Terrence?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a lot to see out there. Of course, you paying a much softer defense versus the Giants. I mean, the Chargers from last week. So I mean, the jury is still out on Heineke. He looked great though. He looked great. Definitely better than I expected. I do think on the Washington football team side, you just got to monitor Antonio Gibson. Of course, you drafted him, you playing him, but I don't think a lot, like you said, I don't think a lot of owners like to see J.D. McKissick getting goal line work. I don't
Not
think
at
people
all.
saw that coming. But if J.D. McKissick is still out there and your free agency, he might be somebody you want to target, especially if you in a 4-point PPR league. So fantasy wise, definitely want to try to take a stab at him.
Okay. All right. What about you, Jose?
What I saw was a disappointment on the defense. Just like Gene said, I really thought they were going to come out a little bit stronger. With that San Diego. I mean, I said San Diego with the LA Chargers. They had a tough time with the offensive line, but with just that defense line with the Giants, it just didn't play well. I need a little bit more from them. On offense, okay. I really think throughout the middle of the year, De'Ami Brown's going to really come out his shell, and he's going to produce. So keep him in your lineup, keep him in your deep bench right now.
Lineup.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
He's talking with the Hail Marys already. Okay. All right. So as far as the Giants, my man Daniel Jones, he came through and put up almost 30 fantasy points with 95 yards rushing on 9 attempts with one TD, 249 yards passing, one TD. Now, I personally think if the Giants want to have any hope at all of salvaging the season and improving drastically over what they had last year, Daniel Jones is going to have to do that. He's going to have to be a dual threat, almost to the point where they're expecting him to rush, have at least 10 playing rushes, right? 10 design run plays, giving them maybe 50 yards on the ground at least, per game, at least having that threat there, because he still has yet to prove himself to be, an elite passer in the league. However, he did have one crazy, basically in the pocket pass play that he had, hit his receiver in the hands, Darius Slayton, that should have been, for a big score. So it's
I'm sorry. I think I'm the only person in America that don't think that was a drop. But I'm sorry. I digress.
Oh no, definitely was a drop.
That was a drop.
That definitely was a drop.
Okay.
Look, in practice the next day we would have been running for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you touch your hands, then it's a drop.
Yeah, I used to hate that. I used to hate the touch of hands rules, yo. And since y'all receivers, I'm gonna go ahead and let it ride. Since I'm a DB and you're a receiver, I'm gonna go ahead and take your expertise on that, yo. But I used to be like, yeah, like if it hit the bottom of my fingertips and I'm fully extended, to me it's not a drop. But maybe he could have did better.
Man, if anything, he definitely could have sold out and pulled that in. Any concerns on Saquon Barkley based on his performance? He finished with 57 yards on 13 attempts, and right under 8 points. You guys concerned or?
I mean, I really think it's going to be middle season when he really started coming out. Right now, he's still trying to heal his knee. He's trying to take his time. You can tell by the way he's running.
Yeah, I got Saquon in one of my leagues, and I'm terrified right now. In our league, actually, in the Pocket League, he like Jose said, man, like he's still quick, but he doesn't stop on a dime and cut and twist and turn like he used to. You know what I mean? Like he's hitting the holes quick and powerful, but he doesn't have any real shiftiness, or at least not the way he had before he got injured. So that's a little concerning for fantasy owners moving forward. Because he's one of them people that as soon as you bench him, he's gonna probably catch for 100 and run for 100. So you like Jose said, you just don't know when he's going to get healthy, but it's going to happen sometime during the course of the season.
One thing about it is that I envision Antonio Gibson having, I still do, having a better season than Saquon Barkley. But considering that Antonio Gibson hasn't been lighting the world on fire either, I'm not sure if you can be terribly disappointed in Saquon. Depending on how high you drafted him. However, I don't see him, really hitting his stride until, maybe week 6, 7, 8, around that time frame. Until then he's still kind of working his way back and getting a real feel for the game. But I can see having flashes here and there.
Plus,
But a true
Daniel
Saquon
Jones,
game.
plus I see Daniel Jones leading the team in rushing. Devin Booker, I don't think he's gonna get that much playing time.
All right, so we got before we move into the injury slate, fellas, and off the Thursday night game, we got 2 questions in the chat. All right, so my man Dan Mangiello, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is asking Eli Mitchell or James Conner or Callaway in a PPR flex. And Callaway, let's see, it says Eli Mitchell, James Conner, or Callaway in a PPR flex. Yeah, got any insight?
Eli Mitchell. I think they're rushing just the way Shanahan opens up the rushing game. He's going to get a lot. He's going to probably get about maybe 20 attempts, but his attempts is going to be about 5 yards a pop, 6 yards a pop. Callaway, I think he's going against Carolina. Right now, James Winston, that first game, he had 174 yards passing. So I don't really see them going to pass too much. He'll probably get like 2 catches, 1 for 40, maybe 1 for 50. And then who's the other one? Other running back?
James Conner. It was Eli Mitchell, James Conner, or Callaway.
And James Conner's right behind Edmonds, I believe, and that's going to be a passing game. So I will go with Elijah Mitchell. That's just me.
All right, so Terrence, we're going to give you the second one. Robert Woods, Damian Harris, and it says Robert Woods or Damian Harris in my flex and half PPR. Can't start both as he has Keenan, Diggs, Zeke, Mixon in my start spot. Man, that must be like this is it's from Delusional Tanner, but I don't know what league he in, but he got a serious squad there. That might be like 18 league to get all them hitters. What you think, Terrence? Said Damian Harris or Robert Woods in his flex position to have PPR.
Yeah, that's a good one because I like Damian Harris. I actually think they're gonna lean on the run, being that they have Mac Jones at the quarterback. But Damian Harris might be in the doghouse. He had a big fumble last week that pretty much cost them the game. So we know how Bill Belichick goes. And I think I don't know if you remember from the Rams, like Cooper, it's all 1 week, it's always Cooper Kupp, and then the next week is Robert Woods.
Right.
So I mean, I like Robert Woods. I think he has more upside. And for some reason I think Detroit could still, put up points. So I still see them throwing the ball. So I like Robert Woods right there.
All right, this was up. Okay. All right, so you heard it here first, ladies and gents. All right, so let's get into the injury report. Right now, looks listed as doubtful is Rashad Penny. Says not expected. It doesn't look like he's going to play today. Already ruled out. We have, of course, Will Fuller. He's out on personal. He had served his 1-game suspension. But also there's Odell Beckham Jr. is out. Josh Jacobs is out for this week. Terrell Williams is out. T.Y. Hilton, of course, Michael Gallup, and Jerry Jeudy as well. Now, game time, so with Will Fuller being out, he wasn't expected to be out this week. You guys, any thoughts on that from a Houston standpoint?
You mean the Miami standpoint?
I mean, yeah, from a Miami standpoint. Sorry about that.
And I was still, it took me a minute too.
Yeah.
No, I'm not playing none of them Bamas, man. Monte Parker.
Yo, the ball gotta go to somebody, right? So
they're playing against the Bills. I'm not touching them.
Yeah.
Is Landry still there, right?
Well, who?
What?
No, I mean, I'm
Niggas
sorry.
get them Browns.
I just had a brain fart, yo. Whoever.
You'll be like, Wes Walker still there?
I had a huge brain fart. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he touched anybody on Miami, yo. Like, I'm trying to find. I mean, someone is gonna have a day just because the ball has to go somewhere, yo. But
I'm not a believer in that QB spot at the moment.
really, but two. I mean,
Tua,
if Tua,
I just don't see it.
really, Tua might
For,
get
not
like if he get 230. Yeah, I don't know. It'll probably go to most of the backs. I think the backs, like if you got like a running back two play, I think you could take either one of their two backs. But I don't. Yeah. I mean, that offense isn't going to do numbers all season. So to echo Terrence, I don't think I touch anybody on that offense. Like,
all right. So with Josh Jacobs though, him being out, he had 2 touchdowns against the Ravens. What do you guys think about that? As far as his matchup with Pittsburgh, their matchup with Pittsburgh this week.
I mean, they got Kenyon Drake. He's gonna catch a
Looks
lot.
like he's going in. Right, he in the RB2. I think Kenyon Drake may be in the RB2 territory. We'll touch on a little bit later.
I mean, if you need a quick, if you need somebody that's gonna get some catches, he's definitely gonna get some catches because they're gonna blitz. They're gonna definitely go after Carr.
Okay. All right. So game time decisions. These individuals are, basically look like they have a 50% chance of playing or actually being sidelined for the week. DeAndre Swift, running back for Detroit. It says look right now is that he had actually a pretty good game. Actually, both backs for Detroit had a good game last week. If he's out potentially for this week, does that elevate?
Jason Williams or something like that.
Right.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams.
Does that elevate him in your book, or do you think his numbers stay similar? I definitely think it elevates him.
Yeah. And the backup. So I think it's something Jefferson or something like that. But because Anthony Lynn, he's the coordinator that was with Chargers when they had Eckler and Melvin Gordon.
Right. Yeah. So he's definitely big on getting the running backs, hands on catches out of the backfield and getting them all in the passing game. So Gabriel Davis is a game time decision for Buffalo. Preston Williams, receiver for Miami. So Will Fuller's out. Preston Williams is iffy. He's a game time decision as well. So he looks as questionable and nursing a knee injury. And Will Fuller, I'm not sure who Tua is going to have to pass the ball to this week. Then Jonnu Smith, tight end for New England. He's questionable this week, and so it looks like he's nursing a hip injury. So, go ahead.
Yeah, now real quick before you got too far off the Will Fuller thing to go back to the Miami. I think Waddle played the slot in Miami, right? Like how we just talking about Tua and how he's like, not, like we don't think that they'll do numbers, but again, there's two things that I look for in fantasy. Number two, I look for teams that are always down and teams that have a lack of weapon. And so, like we said, we might not be like leaving Tool, but in the PPR league, he has to throw the ball to somebody. So I would definitely take a peek at Waddle, especially in deep leagues, yo. Like leagues that are really deep. That just hit me. I was trying to figure out who their second receiver was, so I had to go and
Parker. There's Parker.
Yeah, but Waddle's in the slot though, right?
No, he's on the outside right now. But when Fuller comes, he'll be in the slot, and then you got that tight end.
Right, so they're going to move him to the outside. Yeah, but I think he's just one of them shifty people that'll definitely get like a lot of targets, like them drags and slants and things like that. I think Waddle in the back to get a ton of targets.
And if you in a 3-wide receiver league, you might have to look that deep too. So
yeah,
definitely understood.
I see that question. I definitely go Carson.
So Kashif Mustafa is asking Chris Carter versus Tennessee or Rob versus the Bengals.
Allen Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson versus the Bengals.
I definitely would go Carson. That's me.
What about you, Gene?
It's a good question. The better back against the better defense, or the lesser back against the lesser defense. I'll probably go with Chris Carson. I'll go with Chris Carson.
All right. The so cool. All right, so just to finish up the injury report, we'll get into our ratings for this week and starting sits. Keelan Cole is questionable for the Jets, and he's listed as he's nursing a knee injury, so he's questionable this week against the Patriots. Farrell Brown, tight end for Houston, is listed as questionable. He missed held out the two consecutive practices this week, nursing an ankle and shoulder injury. He didn't practice on Thursday, and so it doesn't bode well for him coming into. He actually had a decent game last week, and we had 4 catches, 67 yards on 5 targets.
Mm-hmm.
And so with him being, if he's out this week, that'll be interesting.
I think he's gonna play because that's going against his old team that cut him. So he played against he played with the Browns. So I think he's gonna try to suit up for that game.
Okay. And then there's Anthony Schwartz. He had 3 catches of 69 yards last week, and he's listed as questionable. I didn't see any real notes on him in regards to what he may be nursing right now, but keep an eye on that just to make sure, because they can have a big impact considering that Odell Beckham was already out for Cleveland. Then there's Anthony Fursker, tight end for Tennessee. Then Marquise Brown, the receiver for Baltimore, is listed as questionable as well, dealing with an ankle injury. So keep in mind they have a late game, and so keep an eye on him as well. He's right now he's more of a flex in PPR leagues and wide receiver 3 in most standards. So if you are playing him, then you put probably in a pretty deep league already. So just keep an eye out for that situation. All right, so let's get into it, man. In regards to we got one more question that came in. We got a actual insight. What do you guys think about this? He says Jamal Jefferson is I'm thinking he may be asking a question. Is Jamal Jefferson a good ad drop just in case Swift can't go?
Yeah, that's the backup. That's the backup running back. If that's the third running back, yeah, I would.
Okay. All right. What about you, Terrence?
I mean, I think I don't see anybody starting Jamar. I mean, if you can get Jamal Williams is still on a lot of free agencies. You know what I mean? So I think it just means more work for him. I don't think they're gonna split the carries between Jamal Williams and the third guy.
That's what I was going to say. It depends on how deep your
Yeah,
league.
but he said if Swift can't go, so remember he used a lot of two running backs. So when he had Eckler, he had Eckler and the backup Justin Jefferson, I think, or he had a backup there. I can't remember his backup, but he used to play Jackson. So he always used that 2. Anthony Lynn always used that 2 set running back. So that's why I say pick him up if he's gonna not play. But there's other running backs, like you said. If you're trying to use 2 running backs, you could definitely pick up like if this is a DraftKings. You got like Javonte Williams. You could probably pick up for low percentage, low money.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So let's get into it, man. And
It's time to come in now.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I any more to come in, I'll definitely get you guys insights on. But let's go with the quarterbacks this week. And we'll start with you, Terrence. Anybody that that you're excited about you're excited about putting in the pocket this week that may, maybe working themselves into potential wide receiver one territory?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go with an old player that people are down on this week, and that's Matt Ryan, man. It's Matt Ryan. Did terrible last week. Terrible.
They're going against
But
Bucks,
I
man.
don't know what was going on. But I don't think Matt Ryan is that bad. I think he's, of course they don't have Julio this year, but going against Tampa Bay, I think the game script is going to set up where Tampa Bay is going to do amazing, obviously with Tom Brady. But I feel like Matt Ryan is going to have to throw the ball. He might get in 40, 50 throws this game just to try to keep up, similar to what Dak had to do last week. So right now they got Matt Ryan just like he just don't even exist no more. So I'm high on Matt Ryan. If you need a quarterback to step in, I'm also high up in the daily based on this price and Ridley as well.
Okay. What about you, Jose? Anybody that you see stepping up this week that may be outside of the top 12 or top 12 quarter QB that should be given start consideration to?
I got Bridgewater. I think he's gonna go off against Jacksonville's defense. I see him going up. So if you need to pick him up, you need to pick up a nice quarterback that's gonna score some points. I definitely pick him up.
So looking at him as like a good streamer candidate for this week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If out the norm, of course Murray. You got Murray. You got Dak. You got Herbert. Those are those big names that everybody's gonna go after. So if you try to find someone for a low price, definitely Bridgewater.
All right. So let's do it this way. We change up a bit. All right. So okay. What about you, Jane? You got any QBs you eyeing up?
Yeah.
That potential break. Potentially outperform.
That's not Dak.
That's not that. I think I can find somebody. I'm looking at Joe Burrow, man. Like I just think that like they play the Bears. Like he got Chase, Higgins. He got 3 good receivers, man, and like not so much because the Bears have a bad defense because they don't, but just more so because Andy Dalton I think is going to give the Bengals offense a lot of opportunities. You know what I mean? Like they're going to probably have a couple turnovers. I just think that the receivers and Burrow are just ready to blow. So I would definitely be looking at Joe Burrow as a play. I think before the season ends, if he stays healthy and if the receivers stay healthy, he might be a top 10 player at some point in time, like in the middle or late in the season. I just think they're just ready, especially if Jamar Chase, is on the same trajectory that he was on last week for the rest of the season.
Okay, all right. All right, so let's move over to the tight end position. All right, any good streaming candidates or anybody that you expect to right now? Of course, you got the standard. This week for the most part in terms of your top tight ends. But anybody outside the top 4 or 5 that you see having a decent game this week? We'll start with you, Jose.
Jared Cook, or honestly, I forgot his name. I had his name in my head, but I totally forgot his name. It's the tight end from Dallas. I think
Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz. Yeah.
Yeah. But Jared Cook, I definitely think it's going to be a shootout between Chargers and Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think them. If I'm not mistaken, in terms you may be able to tell me this, but do they have the projected for the largest point total for the weekend at Dallas Chargers game?
No, I think it's actually Tampa Bay and Atlanta, I believe.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I take that back. It's Kansas City and Baltimore, and it is Dallas and the Chargers. But as far as projected team scores, Tampa Bay is projected to score the most, and I think so Tampa Bay is coming in at 32, and then you got Dallas coming in at about 25. They're the underdogs versus the Chargers.
Okay.
What about the Cards against the Vikings?
The Cards against the Vikings, that's Arizona. They're coming in at the 7th highest projected score,
Right.
with 27 points. And the Vikings, I think the Vikings, they got them as underdogs. Total is supposed to be like around 51. So.
Okay.
All right, that's what's up. All right, what about you, Jose? Gene, any tight ends that you're looking at that maybe out of the top six that you're looking to stream that you like?
Yeah, off the air, Jose brought up a point about Dallas moving Parsons to DN for this week. So if he's at DN and we got them old school coverage linebackers with Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, then I might have to go pick up Jared Cook. I think he's normally right outside the 12 on most, or right at 12 in most fantasy leagues that most fantasy sites. But yeah, the Cowboys linebackers the last couple of years have a terrible time with covering tight ends. So Jared Cook would definitely be somebody to go and take a look at for the Chargers.
Anybody you eyeing up turns that potential star consideration or stream considerations from a tight end standpoint?
Dang, I was gonna say Jared Cook too, but I guess that's not a secret no more. So I'm gonna go Gerald Everett from Seattle. He pulled in a touchdown last week. I think that Russell Wilson just dialed in right now. I think he's gonna spread the ball around. So I can see Gerald Everett getting in the end zone this week. So I'm calling it Gerald Everett touchdown this week.
Gerald Everett touchdown. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's write that down. Hold on.
Write that down.
Get that in there.
Gerald Everett. Okay. Actually, man, I actually like Gronk this week. Now he's more than likely if you got him, you start him, so it's not any secret. But also I like Gronk this week, and I like Hunter Henry for New England as well. Going in, I definitely think that just looking at the way that New England's playing, I can see him, potentially getting in and having an opportunity at some plays towards the goal line and red zone. All right, so cool. Yeah, Hunter Henry as well. I'm looking for some big some returns on maybe potentially with Robert Tonyan. He's right at that starter sit top 12 consideration as well. I can see Green Bay having a bounce back game this week. Mr. RELAX himself. I can see. I'm thinking that there's opportunity there. To get them going. So look, we got a few more questions that came in in the chat, and let's see here. All right, 12 team half PPR flex position. Christian Kirk, Brian Edwards, who faces the Steelers, or Russell Gage. Terms, we'll let you have that one first to bet on that.
Man, well, hey, I like Kirk because of what he did last week. I'm fading Brian Edwards. I'm not touching. You saw what the Steelers did, how they shut down Buffalo last week. So staying away from them. But I like the Russell Gage call. Surprisingly, Russell Gage did pretty well last year, especially when Julio was out. And a lot of people are down on, the Falcons right now just because of last week. But, Matt Ryan is an experienced quarterback. He's going to have to throw. But with these choices, I got to go Christian Kirk. I like Russell Gage, but I do think Christian Kirk is the better option. So with that right there, I would go Christian Kirk.
Okay. What about you, Gene?
Yeah, I gotta go. Like you said, I gotta go with most likely Christian Kirk, man. Like yeah, I'm not going against Pittsburgh defense. Every time I think that they get old, they just retool and get younger, and they've been balling out against receivers. Yeah, I'm definitely going against Tampa, so I got to run with Christian Kirk on that one.
All right, so we'll take one more real quick. AB or Woods as a wide receiver 2.
I got that. Yeah, that AB decision is a tough one, man. Like, and three wide receiver teams with three really good wide receivers, it's always a toss up. Like, you never know. Like, any day could be their day, or it could be their 3-catch, 30-yard day, as I found out last week from Mo Evans. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say AB because it's the biggest boom or bust put attention. Um, but yeah, that's tough.
All right, what about yours, Zane? Always try to get a different, opposing view.
I normally go with AB because Tom Brady kind of like looking at him, but I see Evans going off a little bit, and he's going to spread the ball a little around. So I go with Woods. Woods going to have more potential to get more catches because he is at least the starting receiver. AB comes in as the third receiver, and I think Tom's going to be spreading that ball like to Godwin, to Grunt, to Howard, to Bernard. So I think it's going to be a lot of mouth to feed. But I think AB probably will get maybe 2 catches, 3 catches for like 80 yards. But I definitely go with Woods just for this game. Normally I would go AB.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so let's move to the running backs this week, and we'll start with you, Gene, on this one. In terms of anybody outside the top 24 that you think potentially move into RB2 territory, or anybody in the RB2 territory that potentially move into must start consideration.
Yeah, when you start getting out the top 24, like RB2s, you're talking about injuries. It's too bad I can't cheat and say Kendrick for the Washington football team, as they've already had their game. But nah, I mean, you start getting the Woods out of the top 24. Giovanni Bernard got a few targets for Tampa against Dallas. I think, like, once you really start getting deep into, picking up backup running backs or, running backs, like, you have to look at people that are going to be down and have reception. So that's one. The other sleeper is, God, what's the Colts backup? He got a lot of targets last week.
Hines. The Colts backup, Hines?
Yeah, Hines. He got a lot of targets last week from being down. And also, when your starting running back doesn't pass block or receive, I think Hines is going to be like a good pickup because when they're down and you're down for a whole half, then I think those are good people to put into the RB2. So I definitely will go with Hines from the Colts. Like, he's definitely it's going to get a lot of work this week.
All right. What about you, Jose? Who are you looking at our running back this week?
What I'm looking at running backs this week is Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams together as a combo going against Jacksonville. Jacksonville gave 160 yards to Ingram and Johnson and Lindsey. So I see them going off. And then Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I see them going. And then my sleeper running back especially is Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
What was the first name you mentioned, Jose?
Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams
Oh, okay.
for Denver Broncos.
All right, it's on you, Terrence. What you got? That RB.
I got Ronald Jones from Tampa Bay. He was actually named the starter this week due to Leonard Fournette's fumbling issues. I think the game script lines up. Like I think Tom Brady comes out and throws 4 touchdowns in the first half. Write that down.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, and I think they're gonna just be trying to eat the clock up. So I see 20 attempts from Ronald Jones and a touchdown.
Okay. All right, Ronald Jones. All right, so I got a question for you guys. So with Derrick Henry, his performance last week cause for concern, or you think just a blip on the screen, considering that the whole team played bad?
Cause for concern.
Yeah, I mean, I can start with that. You got to remember the situation right there, and not overreact. I don't know if y'all remember, but I think like half the team was on COVID protocol.
Right.
So they didn't get, I don't think they got a full practice in like that last week. They said the coaches were out, the players were out, Tannehill. So I think, I believe Arizona is a good team, but I don't think that's really representative of Tennessee. How bad they played that game. I think a lot of that had to do with not being able to practice due to COVID. And I think and Derrick Henry, to me, he's always been a late starter. Like he gets warmed up the second half of the season. That's when you start seeing like those 200 yards.
The crazy numbers.
Yeah. So he's always been a late starter. You still gotta, if you drafting him, you gotta play him. So.
Yeah, I'm always skeptical of running backs who had a ton of yards and a ton of carries the previous couple years. Like I just feel like as a passing league, I feel like that they, we all know how running backs fall off a cliff, and I just think that like you also have to be ahead to run, right? So it's a perfect storm where you get 2,000 yards, and also he's not a receiver. So as high as he is, and I know why he's that high, and he's rated so high, I'm always nervous about backs like Derrick Henry in the next year on like fantasy. You know what I mean? Like it's just a hard thing to duplicate. Like I mean, 1,400 yards in today's NFL is hard to do again, especially for someone who isn't catching passes. So yeah, man, I think it's a lot of things that work against them because they have to be playing from an advantage. Like they have to be playing ahead for him to get carries. And so yeah, I'm nervous with Derrick Henry. That's at least being a top 8 back. I'm nervous with him.
Okay. No, I actually think it's just a blip on the radar, and he'll begin to warm up because just the fact that the whole team plays so bad, I can't see that being the case for the entire year. I can see them kind of righting the ship, and at the very least being competitive for if they get into the playoff mix as the season moves ahead. So all right, cool. Let's jump into receivers. And we'll run it back the opposite direction this time. Matter of fact, before we do that, we got another question in the chat. So Yadvir Potter, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is asking Higgins, Chase, or Chenault. You got to get rid of one. So let's start with you, Terrence. Who you got? Higgins, Chase, or Chenault? Man, you got to get rid of one.
I don't know if I can roll with the Cincinnati triple stack, mixing Higgins and Chase. So that's a hard. I mean, yeah, they did do numbers last week, but I don't see it happen again. So, I think you got to decide to bench between either Higgins or Chase. you know, you can go either way right there. Right now, I'm benching Chase. I'm benching the rookie. So
I think I gotta echo that. I'm high on Higgins, and the triple stack just never sat well with me. For me to watch a game and have to depend on three dudes to produce
right.
like that.
One offense.
It
right.
can happen, but it's
Right.
Unless it's the greatest show on turf,
You know,
it never works out.
But when we got an opportunity to have primary receiver on another team, I'm like, nah, we gotta do that. So what about you, Jose?
I'm going with the triple stack. I'm benching.
I knew it. That's why I called him.
The reason why I'm benching him is because I think Jacksonville is going against Broncos. Vic Fangio. He has a good defense. He got Surtain, and I forgot who's on the other side corner, but their corners are always nice. I see them going, and I see them going to really shut down the receivers. And then you got Von Miller really doing good, which Chubbs on the other side. So I think he's going to get pressure. I think Lawrence going to get a whole lot of pressure. And with the Cincinnati and Chicago, I just look at the matchup. I really think they're going to do all right, because they're going against Chicago's defense. He's going to find open holes. You got Mixon's going to get that balanced run, balanced catch. So I'm going with the triple stack. That's just me.
Yeah.
I mean that could be a good play. I mean
So
they all right in there together.
right, and just really quick. I try to be quick on this one. So my logic is that I'm with Rod. Like you should never, unless you got the Rams and what is like 01 or whatever offense, you never pick three weapons to start on the same team. But since you have them, I think you have to start them because if you believe that those three people that that offense is that good, you shouldn't try to like catch who's going to have the big day. So you have to play Higgins and Chase and Mixon because you should have the back should get carries and one of the two will have a big day. But if you bench one and try to chase then you got a chance of having two receivers that do nothing. And so I think you just play all three of them to go with Jose.
All right, real quick, Jose, what you got? But I like AJ. I like your logic. AJ, I actually like your logic. So I'm not upset at that point at all.
I mean, it makes sense. But if that game end up being 17-13, you wrap the week up.
Right. Right.
You got. I mean, look at it. If you look at triple stacks, right? You got a lot of teams that got triple stacks. You got Cook. You got the Vikings. You got Cook, Thielen, Jefferson. You mean to tell me you had three of them? And Chenault, you had to pick. You're not gonna pick all three of them, the triple stack?
Right. I think it's dangerous though, right? Like I think so
Chenault, you got a rookie offense, right? A rookie head coach, a rookie offensive quarterback, a rookie offensive coordinator, trying to mess this whole thing against someone who has experience. All they put in is a rookie receiver. I'm going with the triple stack.
All right. So
I mean, I think it's a good. That's good logic.
Right.
No,
right.
I can't.
I can't look at it. When I look at my fantasy lineup, I can't look at that and let it go. I got it.
Right. And hold on, real fast. This is good fantasy talk because to go to Jose's point, my logic would be to try to never be put in that situation because I want at least my first two receivers to be clearly the receivers with the most targets on their team, right? So hopefully you would avoid that. So, but if you get in that situation, I get it. But like, let's say you had a Cowboys offense, right? If you had that, and you had Amari and you had Lamb, right?
And they went off, and all them went off.
Then we know, right? Like we know that well, I guess Dak doesn't count because he's a quarterback. But if you had Amari, Lamb, and you had Zeke, right?
Yeah, but that's different though. I mean,
right. Like it's
Seattle, Tampa Bay, it's a couple of teams out there where you can do the triple stack easy.
Right.
This game, which is projected to be, I think the it's 46, so they not even in the top half of projected scores for the week. It's a little different.
Right. because what you're doing is you're trying to catch who's going to have that game, and sometimes that can work against you. And when you're playing like we play in the total points league, when you play in the total points league, you're almost better at saying, I know this guy is going to wind up with 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, so I'm never going to take him out, right? Because you're not playing games in our league. So then you're trying to catch like that hot hand for that week, and that can be dangerous as opposed to just going with like that when it's all said and done that he's going to give you these numbers at the end of the year, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So in a triple stack, I never try to catch the hot hand. I just go by the best receivers and just play them.
All right, that's what's up. I think everyone made great points on that particular. And I appreciate the question too.
Yeah, good question.
On that one. Real good question. So, all right, so let's move on. And so we covered. Did everybody get an opportunity to chime in on the receiver discussion? Get a receivers for the week.
I didn't get one. Just Tim Patrick. Okay. Just keep Tim Patrick. Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the receivers? Yeah, I remember if I said mine.
Go ahead, Trent. If you got somebody else. Actually, you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think any of us did, honestly. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to
say. So we got into the Higgins and Chase and Chenault debate that was receivers, but I don't actually think we actually covered who we had as potential tier movers.
Man, don't say no question that good again, man.
I know. So I felt like we had the whole discussion after that one. All right, so look, let's get into it then. And Jim, we'll start with you. Who are you eyeing this week as that potentially may outperform? Where they be currently ranked at? Somebody that you got to start.
Yeah, in the pregame warm up, man. I got to take Jose Thunder again, man. I got to rock with Cedric Wilson, man. Like, I mean, if they throw the ball, I doubt if Dallas would not throw the ball as much as they did last week. That's not gonna happen. So it's still a dangerous play. When you got Lamb and you got Zeke and Pollard can catch, and you got Cooper,
Zeke
and the 2 tight ends. But I think that since once you get into the woods, like you got to go with somebody that's gonna at least get some targets. So I think Cedric Wilson is definitely go-to. Man, that's a lot of weapons, man. Jeez.
They are encouraged. They are, man. You just can't encourage them dudes, man, at all.
Yeah. But I'm going with Cedric Wilson. So my bad.
All right, that's cool. Cedric Wilson. What about you, Terrence?
I'm gonna go on the other side of that, and I'm gonna go Mike Williams. I think Justin Herbert, gonna light it up against that terrible Dallas defense. So
I detect no lies.
Right. Oh God, what the hell? Yeah, so I'm gonna go Mike Williams. Right now, he's just outside the top 24, and I see him having a big game this week versus the Cowboys.
So I should start Mike Williams? I'm asking Terrence for your advice. I need Mike Williams
over Cedric Wilson. Yes,
that's an easy call.
Right.
Let me look at who I got.
All right, so look, Jose, I'm gonna let you get yours, but I got a question too. Just thinking about the triple stack. Because I'm looking right, and let me go ahead and put it out there now. So I was looking at Mike Williams, and then I was thinking, okay, would I rather have out of these 4? Would I rather have Mike Williams, and I'll just run them down. We're gonna go with the Tampa Bay. Would I rather have Mike Williams or Antonio Brown?
Antonio.
I'm going Antonio.
Mike Williams.
I'm going Mike Williams.
Mike Williams or Mike Evans?
Oh, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
All right. And so where the third one going at? Mike Williams or the other Tampa Bay receiver. So you want to take
Godwin.
Godwin, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Godwin.
What's you taking Godwin?
So you rather have God, all 3 of those receivers. One of those receivers.
Oh, you saying nah? I told you I'm not. I see what you're saying. All right, I see what you did there. That was good. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
So
Right.
basically, so you're willing to roll the dice on any one of those 3 receivers, right? Versus somebody
if that's your situation, then fire yourself as a manager. You should have traded somebody last week for anybody. You know what I mean? Like so. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, all right, just real quick in 10 seconds. I got 4 receivers. You guys pick 2. Mike Evans, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Smith.
CeeDee Lamb.
Mike Evans and CeeDee
pick
Lamb.
2.
Right.
So you said
Mike Evans
and CeeDee Lamb. Who you
all right,
got?
so pick 3. So which one would you leave out? Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase.
Devontae Smith. Oh shoot. Yeah.
So you could flex one of them.
Devontae Smith.
You would leave him out, or you would put him in?
I'll take him out. It hurts me because they're going against San Fran. That's my team, but the secondary is kind of suspect right now. But if you go on Jamar Chase, I think Jamar Chase is going to have more targets.
Right. Will he though?
Man, yeah, I would have
with
to.
Higgins and all the other boy and
Tyler Boyd.
Mixon? Yeah.
Yeah,
Boyd
so they're going
and
to. Burrow is a better passer compared to Jalen Hurts. That's what I'm looking at. Jalen Hurts is going to be running, scrambling around. If you put Burrow in Philly, I'm going with Devontae Smith.
Okay.
It's the quarterbacks. It's their style. I look at the quarterbacks, their style, what their tendencies are.
Right.
Like Tom Brady, he scans the field. He don't care who. He's not going to target one guy all the time.
Right.
You got Burrow. He's trying to get his friend, his teammate, that connection. Coop, remember Coop?
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta get that connection. So I go with I will bench Smith. That's just me.
All right.
So and don't forget Cincinnati. That game went into overtime last week. So their numbers are kind of overblown a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point.
I think they definitely have the potential to be fools going. Not that they, will drastically underperform, but I definitely think that there's an opportunity where you don't get the same return that you had before. All right, so go ahead, Jose. Give your receivers that you eyeing up this week.
So this not my sleeper receiver or my Hail Mary receiver, but this is just a receiver that I think is going to go off. That's not in the top 20 or top 12. Christian Kirk, I think he's going to really have a game. He's their third receiver. He's going against Minnesota. He's going to be in the slot. Him and Rondale Moore on that team. I really see that. I really see them going for 400 yards passing that game.
Okay, interesting. All right, what about you, Gene?
Gene already went. Gene said,
I thought I already went, right?
It's Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, I went. I think Cedric.
You said Cedric. Okay.
I was like, damn, I had a bar. I was like, well, all right, go.
Let me change
repeat the question, please. I was like,
all right, so let's move into the flex territory and see who you guys have from a flex standpoint. And we'll go back the other way. Jose, you started this time.
Flex in a pinch. If you need somebody, I will go KJ Osborne or Terrence Marshall Jr.
Okay.
Hold on. This is a flex. I'm sorry. This is
right.
My bad.
Not your Hail Mary.
Not my Hail Mary. My bad. Yes. Man. Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams, what's give me some insight on Javonte.
He's the running back. He had 14 attempts for Denver. He's the rookie running back from North Carolina. He had 45 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 reception, and I think -4 for the yards for catching. But he's going against Jacksonville, and I really think they're going to run the ball all day on Jacksonville. I think it's going to be a good maybe 200 yards for the rushing attack.
Okay. All right. What about you, Terrence? Who are you looking at from a flex consideration today?
Yeah, I was trying to look at some of these. So when we look at flex, we talking about what like top 36. I mean, outside of the 36 wide receivers and tight ends.
And running backs. I mean, flexes.
I mean, and running backs.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be one of those people I mentioned earlier. I don't want to tie my name to these. Go look at that. One of those people I mentioned earlier, the running back from Tampa Bay, I'm just gonna, throw another Hail Mary out here who didn't do well last week. Or you know what? A Carolina wide receiver. Nobody really stood out a lot last week, but I was reading about the Jets defense and how they lost like 2 people in their secondary and they down. So I don't know exactly which one yet, but definitely take a look at those Carolina wide receivers if you need to go deep versus the Jets. And for some another thing
But they're going
I
against
like
the
to do.
Saints.
What'd you say?
They're going against the Saints.
Oh man, I'm way off. I'm thinking about Carolina and okay, come back to me on that. I'm all off. Sorry, people.
Oh yeah, that Bama tripping. So
Yeah, go ahead with your Russell. You should say with your Russell Gage.
Huh?
You should have just went with your Russell Gage.
Right. I was trying to come up with somebody who I didn't already say.
Yeah, Russell Gage.
Yeah.
That Tampa Bay. You already said it's going to be one of the highest. He's going to have to throw.
Yeah. So I do like Gage. So that's a good point. Thank you for saving me on that, Jose.
No problem.
I think
I'm gonna go back to Gage. Go back to Ronald Jones. So.
See, I was going to take that cheat code too. I think you got to go with somebody that you already said because that's the definition of a flex, right? Like somebody that's like outside of the top 24. So the first person I thought about was Naheem Hines again from the Colts. Like again, he's going to get all of the receiving targets. I don't have any faith in Carson Wentz because they are going to be down. So Mac isn't by like the middle of the third quarter. He's going to be non-existent. And all the dump offs are going to go to Hines. So I think that's a good flex play. And actually, I was reading stats on him last night saying that he was actually considered as a top 8 flex fantasy pick in the last year, but you wouldn't think it though, because he gets a ton of targets late in games. So,
all right, cool. That's what's up. All right, so before we transition, let's take a couple of the viewer questions. Crazy to consider. Kenneth Gainwell, and this from Dan, versus San Fran, A.J. Dillon versus Detroit, or Callaway versus Carolina, or Ronald Jones at Dallas. So I'm not sure. Let me see. So he has Kenneth. Let me rephrase that. He says Kenneth Gainwell or A.J. Dillon over Callaway or Ronald Jones. I'm not quite sure. Is he saying So I guess
he'll play
pick one of each.
Dillon.
Right, so Gainwell versus Dillon and Callaway versus Ronald Jones.
No, so I think he's saying Gainwell and Dillon are a combination that he'll play over the combination of Callaway and Jones.
Okay, let's do it.
Talking about what Ronald Jones he talking about?
Your Dallas.
It said versus Dallas.
No, I mean Dallas played R. Jones last week, but
right,
I don't know what the R.
Next
Jones
question, man. Next question, man.
Hold on, I can answer that question. So I'll go with Gainwell against San Fran, and I'll go Galloway. I don't know if you're talking about. I don't know.
I'm not sure who the R. Jones is either.
But I'll still go Galloway before R. Jones.
But what R. Jones is he speaking of? I guess is my question.
I don't know. If it's Ronald Jones, definitely go Ronald Jones.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure he's missing.
But Ronald with the Chargers, though, he's with Tampa, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure what R. Jones. We might have to clarify that one. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see here. You got to get a stance to start 2 in PPR. Gaskin, Henderson, Waddle, Mitchell, or Jamal Williams.
told y'all about that Waddle pick. You already know
Is
where I'm
Jamal
going.
Williams the one from Bears?
No, Detroit.
Because
Right.
Bears got the he got a backup running back. Is it Damian Williams or
Yeah, it's
Jamal?
Damian Williams.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Mitchell and Williams.
Mitchell Williams.
Oh, hold up, Henderson. I'm sorry. I'll go with
Henderson.
Henderson and Williams.
Jose like the dude on they say when we get on Jeopardy, he be like, let me get damn.
Yeah.
Man, what
I'm
about you,
rocking
Jay? Who you rocking with on those
I'm
two?
rocking with Waddle and Williams, man. Like definitely, man. Like I say, Waddle's gonna get some touches this week, just off the strength of starter being hurt, and Jamal Williams. Yeah, I'm going with Jose on that one. Like he's gonna get a few targets, so I'm definitely with Waddle and Williams.
You gotta put in the. I'm pretty sure this guy's factoring in the fact that the starting running back from Detroit might not be out. He might still be in the game. So is that still does that change your pick at all? Or because I guess what happens is that's a Monday night game, so he got to make the decision today,
Early.
Right.
without knowing if Swift's gonna be out or not.
Right. Who are we
So
going?
so this is what I'm
Henderson are we
thinking.
talking about?
So that's Henderson, the running back, right?
Darrell Henderson?
Right. That's what I'm assuming he's speaking of. That's what I was wondering, and if so, I'm like, look, I'm thinking Darrell Henderson needs to be in that discussion because as well.
Yeah. Maybe Darrell. Yeah, I'm still going with Waddle and Williams. So because who gets the most touches at running back for the Charge? I mean for the Rams.
So right now,
Henderson.
right.
Henderson does.
Yep.
I might have to switch that. Waddle and Henderson. He gets the most touches. Like I'm trying to think who gets the most touches. Waddle and Henderson.
So all right, you got Gaskin, right? Gaskin is from Miami. He's gonna get some rushing and catching. Trust me on that. But you're going against Buffalo Bills, so I'm not really confident on that.
Right.
Henderson, he's going. I forgot who they're going against, but he definitely is going to get bulk of the carry. They're back at Sony Michel. Waddle's going against Bills.
Henderson's going against Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they got I still would go with Henderson. Waddle, he's going against a good secondary. You got Mitchell going against Eagles. They got a good defensive front. Jamal Williams going against Green Bay. Their front is not as good as the other players. So I go with Jamal Williams and Henderson because you got Swift, who's not 100%. Jamal's going to get mostly. If you look at his stats, both of them had like almost equal stats. But that's it. The stats that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Any insight on that, Terrence?
Yeah, now I mean, the thing is, if Swift is out running, Jamal Williams is a RB1 in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's a must start. Well, let me take that back. He's a top 15, top 20 running back if Swift is out. So
Okay.
Terrence like, don't quote me.
If, but that's a big if, right? Like, isn't that a
but he was
I was gonna say,
good last week too. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's the one thing I wanted to chime in on is that he was productive last week with the start, with the proposed starting running back there as well. So it's not like his numbers will fall off the cliff if Swift does play, and it's a potential.
You take that chance,
right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. If you going against somebody, and I'm gonna do it like this: if you going against somebody and they got a really good team, and you just need the only way you're gonna win if you drop in big numbers, then you take that chance on Jamal Williams. But if you just need somebody to get you just the basic numbers and you think you can lock it down, then you can put Mitchell up in there or to give you a high floor.
Right.
So and not necessarily a high ceiling. So you can look at it like that.
Yeah, I had DeAndre Swift in one of my leagues, and he's questionable, but them growing injuries are tough, man, because you know the things can linger on for a while.
Right. All right. So let's see. Any other questions here that we missed? Okay. Got one more. Then we're going to the DFS segment. All right. Half PPR, half point PPR, tight end. Would you start Anthony Firk, sir? I can say that easy. Anthony Firk, sir, or Terrence Marshall? We'll go with start with you, Jose.
Woo. Terrence Marshall. He's their
Terrence
third.
Marshall.
He's their third receiver. I think he's that slot guy. I think they're going to be throwing the ball. I think Saints is going to try to lock up on the outside receivers. So I think he's going to have an opportunity in the inside.
All right, Terrence, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm 1.5 TE. So Terrence Fersker is a wide receiver, right?
No, he's a tight end.
He's tight end.
I mean, Terrence Marshall is a tight end.
No, Terrence Marshall is a wide receiver for Carolina.
Terrence Marshall's wide receiver.
Right. So is this a flex position?
Nah, Terrence Marshall is listed. Well, it depends on what you look at. I got something that's listed him as a tight end. The current we're talking about the current Atlanta tight end, right?
Terrence Marshall. I got him listed as the receiver.
Yeah, I thought he was a receiver, and Fersker is a tight end.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a flex question.
So and he says one and a half. He said 1.5 tight end premium. So it must be that. How we look at that?
You get 1.5 points for every point if you play a tight end.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting. I ain't never heard of a league like that. That's interesting.
So I'm looking at it from, if I look at it, first had 4 targets last week. Sir had four targets last week. Had 3 for 19. I'm not even with the tight end premium. I think I still will go with.
If you need a tight end, he's probably Kyle Croft. He should be available. He's the Jets tight end for he's the tight end for Jets. He has better option than Anthony Firkser.
Yeah, I think for the sake of this question, so it's 1.5 points, right? A PPR for the tight end in this league.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I would go with Firkser because it's the higher boom or bust attention. I think
they
won.
So they both end up with kind of similar stats, right? So
right.
Last week, one had 4 receptions. Was Firkser had 4 receptions. Marshall had 3, and they were only separated by about 7 yards of as far as yardage was concerned. So, so with similar numbers, I would have to go with the tight end as well.
Tight end just because he's worth more, he's a value.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Terrence Marshall though, just because I saw him in preseason, he just looks good.
We going on preseason now, yeah. Like that's how we.
That's what we got on tape.
Hey, Terrence Marshall over Firkser, even if it's 1.5 points. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, fellas. So look, let's get into it. On our the next segment, we're gonna get into my main man Terrence's DFS picks. He's our resident stat guru and numbers nerd, and then we're gonna follow up with Jose's his DFS lineups for the week as well, and then some of his Hail Marys deep dives that he hasn't ran. I'm sure he got a slew of them coming up. So let's start off with you. What you looking at in DFS this week?
All right, man. Since we got a lot of people on today, I'm gonna give y'all my secret lineup. Are you ready? My secret lineup. It's a Hail Mary, but I'm doing this in the FanDuel Millie Maker. Okay. And one of the key strategies to win that Millie Maker is you gotta like Jose's, you got to be the sleeper king. So you got to do something that nobody else is doing. So I am doing a stack here with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan as my QB. He's only 6,700. Because I'm taking such a cheap QB who has a high ceiling because they're gonna be throwing the ball against Tampa Bay. I can afford to go McCaffrey, who's probably going to be the most used running back, and then I can also go Chubb, who I believe is going to do very well against against Houston because I think they coming off that loss. They at home. I think they're going to run the ball. I see 25 carries possibly for him. So I like the McCaffrey and Chubb. Because I'm going Matt Ryan, I gotta go Ridley. You saw what Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb did to Tampa Bay last Thursday. So I see Ridley picking it back up. I'm also believing Tampa Bay is gonna come out and score real quick. So I'm going Antonio Brown and I'm going Mike Evans. See that? See what I did there? Another stack. And then I got my boy Jared Cook, who we talked about earlier, high scoring game. And then in my flex, I go back to my boy Gage from the Atlantic Falcons. So there you have it. That's my secret lineup. If you put it in, then we're gonna split the millie.
Who's
So
your tight end?
run your lineup down one more time. Start from the quarterback.
Matt Ryan,
Right.
McCaffrey, Chubb, Ridley, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Jared Cook,
Okay, Jared.
Gage, and then defense. Put in whoever you want. I got the Jets in there, but it could be anybody. Just I think it's only like 4 or 5 defenses that you can pick from the remaining salary that you got. I went with the Jets, but that's just a toss up.
All right, so
Jets versus Mac Jones. Mac Jones got to give me an interception. He got to give me an interception. So I don't know. We'll see.
Go ahead and put that in the chat. We got Ryan, C. Mac, Chubb, AB, Ridley, Mike Evans, Cook, Gage, and the Jets, or have you choose whoever. The lineup was just that good.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily go to the Dallas San Francisco game, which I think everybody is going to be targeting. I mean, Dallas Chargers game, which I believe everybody is going to target. So I'm just trying to be a little different and go against the crowd and see if I can get a little millie come up. So join me in my millie come up. Just shout my name out if you win the millie.
Right. The
shout the podcast out. Shout the podcast.
Right. All right, Turn. I mean, Jose, you got something you want to throw, but
yeah, I got another lineup. I said the lineup already before, and I think in the middle of the week, but I got this lineup right here for DraftKings. Starting at quarterback, Tom Brady. I do think he's going to go and torch that defense. At running back, I'm stacking up. I got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. At wide receiver, I got Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, and CeeDee Lamb. At tight end, I got Jared Cook. And at flex, I got KJ Osborne. And at defense, I got Steelers. Yeah, so.
You said KJ
Osborne from Vikings. Don't worry, he'll be on my Hail Mary list.
So, Jose, give me your receivers again. You had Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, and
I
who
got
else?
My receivers are Godwin, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb. Tight end is Cook, Jared Cook.
Okay.
And then the flex is KJ Osborne.
All right. He said you say it with so much conviction. So
He had to
I
be like
thought
$4,500.
I'm a believer in him. And then you got defense, Steelers defense.
Steelers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, it's for the record. It's in there. So we got it. Okay, cool.
Hey, so if I win, Terrence, I'll bring you on board my boat.
All right. You doing a Chubb and Hunt stack. Okay, I like that.
I got
I
two
like
stacks.
that.
I got Brady and Godwin, and then Chubb and Hunt. So I took your advice from last time. I definitely put that in.
No Dak CD Lamb stack, huh?
No, I do, but this is just one.
Okay, this is your primary.
This would be another whole episode.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, running back stack is the best stack to go for real.
Okay, this was up. All right, so look, before we get up out of here, let's answer a few questions that came up while we were chit chatting a bit. Here we go. Full PPR. Kenyon Drake or Tyson Williams? We'll start with you, Gene. Who you liking between that?
Oh man, Kenyon Drake or Tyson Williams. So can I say neither, or that not an appropriate answer? Nah, I'm around with Kenyon Drake, man. Kenyon Drake. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but ever since he came into the league, he's always been a good PPR guy. He always gets you a couple catches. Besides that one stretch he had with the Dolphins where he had like 400-yard games or something like that. He doesn't get you a lot on the ground, but he's probably good for a good 8 or 9 points. So I'm definitely gonna ride with Kenyon Drake.
All right, what about you, Jose? Drake or Williams?
Tyson Williams. Kenyon Drake is going against Steelers defense. Tyson's going against Kansas City. I'm going to lean more on Kansas City being exposed to running plays, so I'm going with Tyson Williams.
Okay. All right. You take it. What about you, Terrence? You be the tiebreaker.
This is close because of the full PPR. That's the only thing that's throwing me off. I can see, a couple dumps down to Kenyon Drake. But so I'm gonna go off who I think gonna get in the end zone. So I'm gonna go Tyson Williams.
Okay. All right. So there you have it. Two out of three. Tyson Williams. So go. May the force be with you. But you heard it here first with the in the pocket crew. All right. So Jose, man, I want you to take us out on the deepest of Hail Mary passes. We talking Miami, in the Orange Bowl. Doug Flutie scrambling around in the game type of Hail Mary. Who you got for us?
Yes, KJ.
If you like in the fantasy, if you in the inner pocket fantasy league where you got 14 teams and the waiver wire is slim pickings, who you got that could potentially produce for you this week?
KJ Osborne is my number one. He had 9 targets last game, 7 catches, 76 yards, and one was for 25 yards. So KJ Osborne is my number one. My number 2 is Terrence Marshall, and that's all I got for this week.
Marshall.
Yeah, it was Hail Mary.
Any rebuttal from the crew? Any?
I mean, it's a Hail Mary. You can't have a rebuttal on a Hail Mary. It's stated that is, it's a little
right. So look, if they hit, then it's legit. So
right.
All right, folks, man. So y'all got y'all niners ready for this week. Let's take a look at the inner pocket fantasy league and see where we at right now. Hold on a second.
Oh man, I'm last.
I'm ranked number 4.
Yeah, I think I'm 8, right?
Yeah, I'm ranked number 4, but I'll be top 2 by the end of this week.
Where you going? I be sleeping. I ain't even realize Terrence changed his team name. I was here looking for Terrence's team last week. I'm like, yo,
who is Corey Davis?
Yeah, like it took me. I was slowest on the what in Vegas, yo. Like I'm out here looking. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, man. I had a fun Vegas story about the Ravens fans, but I'm gonna save it though. We almost out of time, man.
Now go ahead. This the time to get in.
Nah, yeah, it just sounds small, man. I just got on I caught a plane out of BWI on like 5 o'clock Monday morning, and I'm sitting in the airport, and it was like even a crazy
Them
coincidence
joints
or what?
brutal.
Like, why does like my whole plane got on Ravens jerseys? Like, I couldn't figure it out. You know, I was like, why is everybody on my plane wearing a Ravens jersey? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, they opened up against the Raiders tonight, and they opened the stadium. It was pretty exciting, man. I was right next to the stadium. If I didn't have my moms with me, I'd have definitely went to the game. Definitely went to the game, just to be part of history. I went and found tickets on StubHub and everything.
Right.
Nah, that's what's up.
Yeah, man, but it was live, man. Unfortunately, the Raiders fans got
How'd the stadium look?
Man, the stadium looks awesome, man. Like it looks, it looks like a Vegas stadium would look, yo. It looks like the Death Star. They call it the Death Star, yo. Like it's all black, it's blacked out with
for
gray
real?
outlines.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's huge, man. Like it's like, and it's right off the strip. Like it's on the south side. Like if you're at the MGM, I don't know if you guys been to Vegas, but if you're at the MGM, it's right on that side, but maybe like a half a mile away off the strip. Half a mile to a mile away off the strip. Yeah.
Going in what direction? Towards what?
Towards the MGM side, the MGM Mandalay Bay side. Yeah.
I heard they got a retractable on grass, so they got a grass field.
Yeah, man, that's joint fire, man. Like I think all new stadiums are, just trying to outdo each other, man. Ever since I'm curious to see what the Cowboy Stadium at 10 years old, how it compares to the other new stadiums, man.
Man, listen, I with the what was it? The new LA stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all look crazy.
Yo, it frustrates me that we are in Washington D.C. and we can't get a stadium. It frustrates me so much because I've never been to a Final Four. I've never been to them like events that we get when we get one of those. And like, man, it's like one of my sports things that angers me the most about my area, man. Like, Dan Snyder need to get on it. Like, he need to get on it ASAP. Like, we need one of those stadiums.
So look, let's take a look. Let's see. So right now, this is based off having played the Thursday night game at the current standings, and so Daniel Jones, put in the pocket for me on Thursday night, and then Terrence, who'd you have on your roster that played Thursday? Was it McLaurin? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene, who'd you have?
I had oh gosh, hold on, give me a second. I'm drawing a blank, y'all. Talking about stadiums.
Somebody gave you 14 points.
It was jeez. It was Saquon. I had Saquon.
Oh, okay. Oh man, look, Glass Man is finest. They right now are 14, but like I said, this is based on just the weekly points. But if we look at the standings right now,
I had real quick. I had Saquon and I had Logan Thomas. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think we spoke on that. He actually, had a nice target game. He didn't get in the end zone. Any issue with with Ricky on the other side, or backup tight end? See him having any impact going forward for Washington?
Yeah, that's a wait and see for me.
He's a big boy, man. Basically, look like just jump balls all day in the end zone.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely a wait and see for me. We top 3 in the league, besides the fact that we had guys that played on Thursday. I guess that's kind of what makes it top 3. But
right, that should be interesting, man.
Hey, don't get used to that.
Nah, look, Zeke team definitely official. Zeke team is official. Jose, I was ready to make your team official, but when you blew your whole budget week 1,
Yo, I saw
That-
that.
I'm praying for you, brother.
Listen, I'm trying to get my diamond status.
Who did he pick up?
Elijah
with
Mitchell.
that? Oh yeah, you went into the whole.
Threw the bag at him.
Yeah,
Like he was a bad bitch. You know, he just threw everything at him.
Yo, right. Like you said, yeah, you can have it all, yo. Only kid.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, so look, we'll take a couple more questions before we get out of here. And so it says, do we like helping the people, giving you opportunity when you lead, or at least make it fun. Full PPR, Gaskin or Gordon. Secondly, pick 3 receivers. Sam, he doubled up on us, right? He got one question. He snuck one in there. So let's take the first question. With you, Jose, then Terrence, Gaskin or Gordon, full PPR. And I'm assuming that's Melvin Gordon is who he's talking about.
Yeah, you going to me first?
Yep.
I'm going with Gordon. It's a better matchup. You got Jacksonville defense. I'm not really sold on them. Gaskin's going against Buffalo Bills. He may be the number 1, but even though Gordon's sharing time, I really think that he's going to have a better output than Gaskin in this game, in this matchup.
What about you, Terrence?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like Gordon in this one.
Okay. All right. So that's his second question. Pick 3 out of 4. Looks like Samuel. Oh, actually, it might look like 5. Samuel, Cooks, Cooper, Godwin, and Deontay. And with Terrence, you take that, and then Gene, you get your insight on it.
Hold on, Samuel.
Curtis.
Okay.
What Samuel is that?
I know Curtis Samuel.
That's what I'm thinking. It's Curtis Samuel.
He's not
Well,
playing.
that would have been Thursday.
Nah, let me see. Samuel. It had to be.
I'm gonna
So
cancel
that's
him
easy.
out because I don't even
That's
know who he is. Yeah,
sorry,
I mean, this is easy. I mean, for me, I'm going Cooper, Godwin, and Deontay.
Oh, Debo Samuel.
Oh,
I'm tripping.
Debo Samuel.
Oh,
Right.
that's because we missed the
Okay,
S.
that makes it hard.
Our fault. We missed the S.
Oh man,
Yeah,
And
Debo, Cooper, and Godwin.
That must be Brandon Cooks. That must be Brandon Cooks and not Jared Cooks.
Yeah, so we're gonna say Debo Samuel, Brandon Cooks, Cooper Cup. I'm assuming. Or Amari Cooper. I'm gonna say Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
Godwin, Deontay.
Oh, I
Deontay
was
Harrison.
thinking Cooper. Yeah, it was still same. I was thinking Cooper Cup, but even Amari Cooper, I'm taking Debo, Amari, and Godwin.
Yeah, that's easy.
Debo Mark. What you got, Gene?
Easy. Debo, Coop, Godwin. Like, that's easy money right there. Like, no
Yeah.
explanation needed for those.
All right, cool. All right, so let's rapid fire on these. PPR sit 1 between Juju, Jamal Chase, Mike Williams, or Tyson Williams.
Dang.
And with Gene, you start there, and then Jose, you chime in.
I'm sitting Juju. Like, I don't trust him. Mike Williams played against the Cowboys. We already know about that secondary. We talked about that. Like, that's suspect. Jim, like Ma Chase, I mean, he potentially could be a top 10, top 5 guy before the season over if his potential reaches. And we already talked about Tyson Williams. Juju, he's not even. I don't think he's even wide receiver number 1 on his team anymore, right? So I'm rocking with the other 3 and sitting Juju.
Yeah, I don't like nothing about Juju for the most part. What about you, Jose? Who you sitting?
Jamal Chase. I like Juju in this matchup.
You said Jamal Chase?
Yes, sir.
He don't like younger. He don't like the unknown.
No, I say in this matchup. In this matchup.
Okay.
In this matchup? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Terrence, you be the tiebreaker. Jose went off script again and said Jamal Chase. Who you sitting?
In the full point PPR, I'm sitting Tyson.
That's what I'll be sitting. Yeah. Tyson Williams. So the let's see. All right, next one.
Hold on. Didn't Riley just say he don't like nothing about Juju?
I don't. From a receiver standpoint, I don't. Like because you talked about he not the number 1 receiver on this squad.
Right.
But I got to take him over. As far as full PPR, I don't see Tyson Williams, killing it in that. All right. So next, full PPR pick 2 between it says Najee Harris, Damian Harris, or Zeke. So the Harris boys and Zeke, pick 2, and we'll start you off, Terrence. You start over there.
Man, I mean, like I said, I gotta go Najee and Zeke. Like I said, Damian Harris, I like him. I say he fumbled last week. I don't know how Bill Belichick gonna react, so I like Najee gonna get to work. And you drafted Zeke, top 5 RB, you got to play him.
Yep. All right, what about you, Jose?
I'm going to the Harris brothers. Not the brothers, but the
You
Harris
sitting
brothers.
Zeke?
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh,
You know what?
Wow. Wow. Like,
I don't know how you make that. I don't know how you make that statement. That deserves no more insight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is true. That is true cowboy hate right there, yo.
That's what make folks say that the Washington football team fans are illogical.
Yo, like I don't even know how. So I'm rocking with Damian. Well, so here's my thing. I hate new. I've been said it. I said a few times on the podcast. Patriot running back scared the hell out of me. But I'm gonna still rock with Damian Harris. And then Zeke, for reasons you guys already said, you gotta play Zeke. Plus, I mean, we all know that the focus last week was on Zeke's lack of touches, right? So just off, of that and the money he makes, you know that they're gonna force him this week. So he'll probably get about 3 or 4 catches. He'll probably get about 22 carries. So I'm definitely gonna rock with Zeke. And we know that if they get to the goal line, we know he's getting the ball. So in the PPR league, he's gonna get 3 or 4 catches, and he should get a touchdown. So
look, they're gonna be passing.
I'm going with Zeke, but they cannot. And Zach Martin is back, right? Even though they lose Collins, Zach Martin is back. So I'm rocking with Zeke. Zeke got to get you at least 20 touches and at least 85, 90 yards, 3, 4 catches, about 35 yards in the touchdown. I'm going with Zeke.
All right, fellas. So there you have it, man. It's been real. Enjoyed y'all, man, this Sunday morning.
Yeah, thanks everyone for the comments.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks everyone. Oh look, man, I can't do this. So we got 1 more minute left. This is the last question we'll take. Full PPR start 2. Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, or Marvin Jones. And he said he has Zeke as his RB1 already.
Full PPR. I'm starting.
Look, because he's logical and that he already where Zeke is, he's playing him. There's no
right.
there's no debate about whether he's playing him or not. So, what about you, Jose?
I'll take Miles Sanders and Jonathan Taylor.
All right, cool. On that note, we're going to take us out. Put us in the pocket, man. It's been real, fellas. Look, follow us, man. We appreciate everybody in the comments providing questions. Follow us at ITP_FFL_podcast on Twitter. Everywhere else at In the Pocket FFL for Facebook, YouTube, on all your streaming and podcasts, wherever you listen. Like us, subscribe, give us a rating, whether good, bad, or indifference. And on that note, we out.
Be safe.